This is the second of two games, one right after the other, with the Japanese destroyer gunboats, the Kitakaze and the Harugumo. This is the Harugumo, and this sort of opened up on me as a big destroyer's worst nightmare. Ocean and a whole bunch of radar. If you look at the lineup, they have a Baltimore, a Buffalo, possibly a Minotaur who's probably smoke, a Warship, and a Missouri. Um, and I'm spawned in on sea in a boat that, while it has a concealment build, is still short of a Kavarok, the least stealthy destroyer in the game. And right now, if there were a Moskov around here and was close to C or B, I could be radared from here. So the radar range on the American boats that are in here, the better ones, are 9.7 clicks. So I really don't have a lot of room to even stealth fire torpedo. Now, one of the things that a lot of people think about with the Kitakaze and the Harugumo especially are that they're just gunboats. They're daka daka, shoot 'em up, and they really are. I mean, they have a phenomenal rate of fire. Um, I have this ship rigged with superintendent, not with IFHE. A lot of people put the IFHE on them. That is how I have my Kitakaze. But in this case, I've gone for the extra smoke and extra reloader. I find that I do run out of those in the Kitakaze, so I have to be much more careful when I use them. And I tend to, and this boat also has a lot more range. It has 14.6 clicks for its guns. The Kitakaze only has 12. So that extra 2.5 clicks is a major difference. But I am playing it very careful. I'm doing a little bit of trying to spot. I want to know where the radar threats are. And I'm going to play this a little bit more like a 3-fish short shimakaze. I'm about a minute until my fish come up. When they do, um, I will have 12 torpedoes that will really hit. It's a tight group, 2 sets of 6, 5 seconds apart. And there's actually an advantage to the 5 seconds apart. If you hit a battleship or a heavy cruiser with a couple of these fish and they get a flood, and I do have flood flags out, they are going to have to hit their repair party. And if those other set of fish are on a good cross-cut track, they will hit after they've punched the button, which means they're going to be a ways before they get their repair again. And the chances of them flooding out go way up. So there's the Buffalo, and I am detected by somebody. I should have waited a little longer when my smoke went up. I just saw smoke pop over there, and I'm seeing AP shells come out. You probably couldn't have seen that, so I'm going to assume that rate of fire, that's their Minotaur. Now, it might be that, what have they got for destroyers again? They've got a Harugumo and an Ognivoy. We've got a Benson and a Harugumo. So that could be Harugumo. Looks like one of our boats is, well, maybe it hasn't smoked up. I don't know who that is smoke is, but the one in front of me is definitely bad guy smoke. So I didn't get much out of that smoke. I mostly did it because I was detected. I really wasn't positioning to fire right then, which is part of why I was still detected when it went. But as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of folks traveling in a nice gaggle up there. So I am going to, paying due attention, it was the Minotaur, he's out again and he's spotted, he's at 9. I'm going to try to get as many of these ships into my 12 click range as I can. Not all of them are going to turn. I'm not going to be spotted by if I duck in the cap because our cap is already held by us. And that smoke, if it holds, is going to make it harder for them to see my fish coming too. So I'm setting one bank. Somebody else is smoking up. Must be one of their destroyers. So I'm going to find a, there we go, a nice cross cut to that. and maybe into the smoke for both of those. And now I'm going to turn out of here, because with all those radar boats, when they see those torpedoes, the odds are good that they're going to throw them. Plus, there's a Minotaur and a destroyer up there, both of which have fish, so there's probably fish coming back, and you can see they're starting to scatter.
Set a smoke screen.
Somebody's asking for a smoke screen. Guess what? We don't have any. The Benson has thrown his, I've thrown mine. I've still got 22 seconds before mine is back. And look at that, we got a first blood. So we took out a Buffalo. Down one radar ship, 30,000 in damage. There's 3 torpedoes. We got floods running, 4 torpedoes. There's a good chance that one of those fish at least hit somebody, like I mentioned, that had already thrown his party. I'm going to take control of the mouse for a minute and take a look at what's going back there. This is not the view I had during the game. And those torpedoes have now run out. So, our Minotaur and our Yamato are taking B. Most of my targets are still hanging over there at A. We have 2 radar boats up high. So it's relatively safe for me. This is a place where I could consider smoking up and starting to shoot some of those folks taking A. Because caps are going to be an issue, and you can see that the other team is paying attention to caps. We've got a slight advantage right now. Nobody's making points. I'm going to finish helping Cap B here. And then I'm considering coming back over towards A and making their life miserable. We ended up between the torpedoes and the floods getting just under 60,000 damage. And once again, I've got 2 boats traveling real nice. And in 26 seconds, I'm going to have... Oh, and there is that Harugumo sitting in a tight smoke window. He did not open that out much. I can see where his shells are. So, Mr. Destroyer, I am going to send you some sushi. Right now. And turn back around. I hit my reload. And I'm going to send another set as soon as I can position. I've only really got one ship, that Kurfürst, in range. And what I'd like to do is get in closer and do it. I don't know where that Warship went, and he was heading my way. We clipped him with 1 fish and did a fair bit of damage. And now we got more of these ships in line. Can I get 3 of them inside range? Just barely. Well, Pleek's coming my way, and the Kurfürst is sailing at an angle. I'm going to try to pick a line. There's somebody else spotted. It's Minotaur, I guess. You move these so you can see where they went, rather than where I was looking. So I focused primarily on the Kurfürst line because I knew the Republik was coming back. I was hoping he would turn into them. But by the same token, that means they're not going to be spotted as soon, as quickly. And those fish are looking pretty good on the Kurfürst. I think we're going to have some hits there. Oh, yes. And there's a Confederate. And you can see now we have 8 torpedoes, 8 floods, 128,000, 129,000, 130,000. It's counting because we got a bunch. Now I'm smoking out, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can put a fire on him and get a kill. Not yet. So far we got a first blood, 146,000 in damage. We have not finished getting damage. By the way, there's our fire, so if somebody else doesn't harvest that, we'll get the kill on that. I can pretty well go start shooting at somebody else. Because he's dead. There's no way he's surviving that. I'm going to try to make sure I get the kill. Well, those were probably futile because they weren't going to get there in time, likely, but you never know, he might have popped a repair party. Doubtful, but there's another kill. Not ours, unfortunately. Harugumo is down. What have they got for... They still have the Warships and the Baltimore with radar. But if you look at that, they are way out of range, so I can start readjusting my position. I'd like to get some more damage. You know, we always try to get a high caliber out of it. So let's start moving. Got a good bit of distance. 30 seconds, I have fish again. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into a position before the game's over where I can actually get fish in something else. But you never know. The Ibuki is possible. But I might get into where the Warship is close enough. I'm a minute away from smoke. So I'm going to try to move to where those two boats are. One nice thing about, yep, well, we got some more time because the Otago just bought it. The Massachusetts put him down with some gunfire. But it looks like the Massachusetts is going down before I can get anywhere close. After the game, I'm going to show the scores. There is another companion video to this showing the Kitakaze on Warrior's Path in a much different game where there was only one radar boat and a lot of opposition at sea. Interestingly enough, torpedoes played a major role in there. I'm getting plastered now. Time for me to smoke up and use my repair. See if I can keep shooting. That radar is now running out. And I have fish again. I just can't get in a good position to use them. And I want to move around a bit and get angled just in case that Minotaur sends some of his very deadly British fish. Well, we'll give a shot on this. And I'm assuming that these guys are going to be dead before those fish get there. I'm at 162,000 right now. Detected again. But I can play a little aggressively. If I got killed right now, it wouldn't change the outcome of this game. Warship's down. Just a little more damage. Let's see if I can get some on this Minotaur. I'm going to shift over to AP. See what I can just slide into his broadside. There we go. And he's down and I got the kill. 15 quick shots with AP. Up to 170,000 damage, which happens to be what I got in the other game. Hope you'll watch it too. Here come the results. See you out there. And here are our results. Now this was Ocean. I really didn't hold out a lot of hope with all the radar, but it sure turned out different. We did 170, almost 171,000 in damage, sunk 3 boats, 8 torpedo hits. And all those torpedo hits on different ships led to us getting a Confederate, when I didn't expect that either. 2 fires. Of our 117 gun hits, 87 were pens, 4 were overs, 25 nons or shatters, and 1 ricochet. Spotted 2 boats, assisted in the capture, got 8 floods. We did first blood. We came in first on the team with 2245 in raw XP. We did 13.5 to the Republique, 11,000 odd to the Buffalo, 66.78 to the Minotaur, 69,000 to the Kurfürst, 21,000 odd to the Worcester, 19,000 to the Ibuki, 15,000 to the Massachusetts, and 14.4 to the Harugumo. He died from our torpedo strike. We fired 362 shells, 107 of those landed of high explosive. We shot 40 and 10 of those landed. Those were at the Minotaur. We tanked almost $1 million in damage. We caused 2 fires that resulted in another 52,000 in damage. We lived through the battle. We received 16,767 in damage. Now these results include some flags, so I do not have the custom camo on this. However, I am flying a Zulu flag, a Leviathan, and I do have some good camo on here. I don't see that showing up. But anyway, we took in 454,000 in raw silver. We got 468 because we had these different flags and stuff on it. So we also had some consumable costs, but those were reduced in part because I've been finishing out some missions that gave me various and sundry goodies. We had there we go, the modifier, the GamesCon camo, which added XP per value and free XP. We had some flags out, so when all the dust settled, with a daily win and a clan bonus, 4,500, almost 4,600 in free XP, 15,000 in ship XP, and just under 30,000 in command XP. Rewarding game. Wasn't expecting that on ocean in a destroyer that isn't all that stealthy, but it is what it is. Hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to leave comments. Hope you'll subscribe, and we'll see you out there.